got no cover, no condom. Soul ties are what I thought we had in common. Tryna move forward, but I'm starting from the bottom. Let's talk about sex, baby, causing all these problems. I know I ain't God, but my gifts elevate me off the floor. I carry my pain and support you through yours. But in these moments, I'm taking for granted. Only one way out this darkness is to love me and let no be the destiny standard. I'm offset with no egos. Upset the game with free throws. Last section, hero. Faithful with no ego. Okay, see my future through the Bebo. Fusing genres like I'm Creole. Money only talks to zeros.
Hey world, what's up? It's your boy, Jastin Artis, right here on the No Condom podcast. And this episode is titled Self-Love. So again, I'm your host, music professional, and I'm here with my lovely co-host, my dear wife, MS Warrior and creative, Kellie B. Kellie, tell me how you doing? How's it going? What has been like the last week for you?
Hello there. And thank you, babe, once again for having me as always. And I will say for me, let's see, Thanksgiving. I hope everyone had an awesome Thanksgiving. I know we did. And of course, picked out on some cookies and things like we typically do. That's one of our favorite sweet treats. And I'm super, super excited because this is the last month of my certificate program at Full Sail. So this is the first week of the last month. So I'm super excited because Jastin can vouch for me. There have been plenty of times where I'm just like, babe, I don't know if I can still do this. But I'm proud of myself because I stuck it out. So yay, me. And yeah, that's all I really have going on. So babe, what's been going on with you?
Well, let me unmute myself first.
Yes.
I'm over here intently listening. But yeah, first of all, congrats to you. I know the perceived notion of starting school and you out here killing it. So I gotta definitely always give you kudos. Honestly, I feel like you have been motivation for me. And this is my third time. So I'm grateful.
Wait a minute. How am I motivation for you? Because I feel like you motivate me.
What I mean, that's the way it goes, right? and we take care of ourselves. Inherently, that take care of those around us and in our circle. So, yeah. I mean, I thought I've said this before, but now we saying it. I'm saying it publicly. Absolutely, you are without a doubt an inspiration for me. So, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
For me, you live with me, so it's been rough for your boy.
Yeah.
Last month was pretty intense health-wise and still turbulent, but I'm showing up. I'm here. Something I don't think I will ever do or pray that I never lose, right? Yes. Not allowing these things to stop me. What else? I'm in a very much reflective place right now. Usually, as the holidays, we got through Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. I think Christmas is usually more intense for me, but I miss Jace like no other. And so I want to take a moment just to Jace, if you ever do hear this or when you do hear this, I love you, I miss you. This is a special one for you. So yeah, I just want to, at least get that off my chest because it helps. What else we got going on? Well, I mean, Love and Darkness 2, the self-reflective playlist has been out a couple of weeks, and Kellie.
All right.
The feedback has been dope. Honestly, if I had to say, I think this might be my best work. Dare I say that? It's the 10th one, but dare I say that?
Yes.
But I think everyone that has already been gravitating to it and been enjoying it, it never gets old, And if you don't know, this playlist also has a paired journal for my guys, my dudes, my homies, for men to write those emotions, be vulnerable. And so that's on Amazon. So definitely check that out. If you haven't gotten your husband, your boyfriend, your cousin, your little brother a gift yet, this is a good item. So yeah, I think that's it for me, Kels.
All good stuff. I'm so proud of you, like always. So I just want to say that you're doing an awesome job, babe. Awesome job.
Thank you.
So for this week, ladies and gents, sticking with the theme of self-love. So our hot topic is 11 things people learn too late in life. Too late.
Ooh.
So we found this clip on YouTube. So here we go.
You wrote a clip, Kelly.
11 things people learn too late in life. 1, the less you say, the more your words will matter. 2, don't take everything personally. Not everyone thinks about you as much as you do. 3, when you focus on problems, you'll have more problems. When you focus on possibilities, you'll have more opportunities. 4, no matter how much it hurts now, someday you will look back and realize your struggle changed your life for the better. 5, you meet people for a reason. Either you need them to change your life, or you're the one that will change theirs. 6, never be afraid to try something new. Life gets boring when you stay within the limits of what you already know. 7, you will never truly know the value of a moment until it becomes a memory. 8, once you begin to take note of the things you are grateful for, you begin to lose sight of the things that you lack. 9, if you do not have control over your mouth, you do not have control over your future. 10, life is a mirror and will reflect back to the thinker what he thinks in.
So, wow.
He was
Those
speaking.
were a lot of, yes, he was. And I'm sorry, everyone, that is Denzel Washington from the Inspiration Quest 99 channel on YouTube, if you want to go check it out and listen again. So he gave us a lot of nuggets that I definitely feel is important to everyone. And my takeaway from that was definitely don't take everything personally, because I am a empath and very emotional person. So I do have a tendency to take things personally. So that is my takeaway, is not to take things too personal, because everything isn't, I won't say like about me, because that's not why I take things personal, but I'm a recovering people pleaser. So yeah.
Wow, that's good. I think my favorite was number 3, the focus and perspective. I say that a lot. I'm about that. So I absolutely, I think I marveled in all of them because I was making faces, but that was definitely one that stuck out.
Yeah.
So thank you for that lovely hot topic, Kels. So y'all, this episode is titled Self-Love. That's the theme. And it's paired with my song, No, Not Today. You heard a little bit in the intro. It was produced by my guy, Jastin of the LMU Society, dope producer I work with. And just to give you a quick background on it, again, it was inspired by Ryan Leslie. Yet again, that format, I really loved it. So I was like, let's do it again. And Kels, I wrote this while driving. Yeah, I wrote it while I was driving. I was going to pick, I think, some food up, and I couldn't get something at home. So I know sometimes when you move, it brings up just this energy, and you can, come up with stuff. So
Right.
Pretty dope. And then I want to shout out a friend of mine who I think I got the inspiration from in a text. She was talking about, like, sometimes you just got to say no, or no, not today. Something she said, I think it was maybe just no, and I added the no, not today. And so this one is about just affirmation, right, to yourself, to ailments, to all these things that's going on. So we'll walk it on out to our first heart conversation topic: when lifing. Or you could say when life be lifing, however you like to say it, right?
Life be lifing.
Kelly, my first question here is, how can we cultivate resilience in the face of adversity? Through the tough times, how do we do it? How do you do it?
Oh, definitely changing your mindset, because very similar to what Mr. Denzel Washington just said, everyone, is that changing your mindset helps you to see like the bigger picture, for you to think more clearly, for you to, create opportunities for you to grow personally, and for you to build better relationships, to love on yourself more and better in different ways that you probably wouldn't have considered,
Right.
So yeah, it's all about a mindset thing, because we all know that if you stay in a negative mindset, you attract negative things, and negative things will definitely come your way. So,
True.
right. So, yeah. And I will say that, yeah, babe, like for you, what do you do?
Well, something I realized, not everyone can or has had a lot of adversity, if at all.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought that was true, but it's true. It really is true. Some people just
Until you
haven't
met
had that
me.
level. No. I'm not talking about you. Which I find to be interesting. And so platforms like this, I love to be able to share, things that we're sharing, because when they do, hopefully they will be prepared. And so
Mm-hmm.
for me, you have to make a choice to be resilient. It is very easy to wallow in, oh, this happened to me. Oh my gosh, this happened again. Why can't I find anybody? People won't hire me. Like all of these different things. So
Mm-hmm.
I think, and I probably have said that a lot throughout this season, but it's a choice to be resilient. And God gives you these opportunities to do so-called the right thing or the better thing, right? And you mentioned, being self-aware, but also adapting to the situation. I think that's one thing that I'm pretty great at. And, it transfers into work. At any place, big or small, I've always been able to adapt to the situation, or, okay, this happened. Now what do I do? How do I pivot? Okay. And the more you do it, the easier it becomes. It's not always easy, but being
Mm-hmm.
self-aware too means like, what you're doing and what you're not doing. Like, let
Yeah.
me look in the camera. You know what you're doing, bruh. Like, I equate it to basketball, right? Some people just be filling their arms and act like they don't know they just elbowed you in the mouth.
Right.
Bruh, you hit me. You felt, you know what I'm saying? And I think people
Mm-hmm.
do the same thing when it comes to stuff like this. They do things and act like they don't know. And so being self-aware in those ways is a major part to figuring out how resilient you are and can be.
Yeah. Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah, I definitely agree with everything you said. And to that, babe, it's like, I know you are a very resilient person. So my question
Did
to
you know that
you
about me
is,
did you figure that out when you met me or we started dating?
I'm not initially, no, but I mean, as
I'm just cutting up with you. I'm just cutting up with you.
I know. So with that, I would say, I would ask, for people who have like challenges and things, what can lead to like feelings of hopelessness and things like that.
Oh man, well, I feel like it's kind of easy,
Mm-hmm.
or it can be rather easy depending on the person and what you were looking forward to that didn't happen, right? But
Yeah.
one thing that comes to mind is the patterns of disappointment. You know, job is a perfect example, and I've experienced it, right? Experiencing
Mm-hmm.
it just recently, this last year or two, but throughout my life where you're about to get the job and you don't. And you're like, okay, cool. It's all right. You go at it again, same thing happens, same in the same way. Now you're like, all right, hold up. Then when it happens like a third, fourth, it's easy to be like, okay, there's no hope for me. I'm not gonna get, this role that I have worked so hard for and went to school for. So it can be tough, very easily.
Yeah.
I think when you see that cycle keep going, it's like, there's no hope for me. Another big one for me that I've experienced is you did the work or you did what they said to do, but it didn't go for you like that. Another example
Right.
for me is school. Went
Yes.
to wanted to go to college, from high school. And it was the whole, go to school, you graduate, you get your degree, then you get your dream job, and then you da-da-da-da. Bruh.
Yeah. It doesn't work like that.
It did not happen like that for me. And again, for those that it does, it's dope. But where I started to get frustrated and started to feel hopelessness was, dang, it didn't work like that for me. Did I do something wrong? Like,
Yeah.
why didn't it? And then, it's rare and unexpected things that happen. Again, I'll use myself as an example. I had a freak accident in school, in undergrad. And it was like my junior year before exams. And I was going into my last year. Oh, I went back to school, okay? Like people telling me to drop out. Nope. I had to end up dropping out anyway.
Yeah.
So it's things like this that I think really be like, oh man, I ain't got no more hope. And somehow you got to figure out how to hold on to it because it doesn't always work out for you in the same way as, someone else.
Yeah, I agree.
So
I agree.
I've shared a lot of personal stuff, Kels. So here we go.
Okay.
Share a personal story of a time when you faced a significant hardship in your life. Those that can't see her, she's making faces.
Yeah. I mean, okay, I'll just be honest. I lived a very sheltered life growing up. So I don't really have too many hardships that I've dealt with, except because to your point, babe, when you mentioned, when you just mentioned work. So I had a situation at work where the organization decided to do away with my position. So, yeah, like you mentioned, I went on all the interviews and did all the things and nothing came back. And so I will say that I wasn't worried because in my mind, I'm like, I'll get a job. Like, I've never not had a job. So, if I do have like a slight gap, I'll just, get unemployment or whatever until I find a job. So to make a long story short, it was, I want to say like a week or two prior to my last day, one of my coworkers said, "Hey, Kelly, this office is hiring, you should apply." And I was hesitant because, my grandmother used to work for the same office and I'd heard some things that weren't too pleasant. So I was a little, on the fence. And she was, my coworker was like, no, Kelly, things might be different. You may not have the same experience. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I applied, had the interview, and I was the last person they interviewed for the position.
Oh.
I want to say within the next couple of business days, I got the notification that I got the job. So, yeah. So I was extremely happy. I'm still with this particular office till this day. And I will say that
clap.
yes. My experience with this office was nothing like I imagined. My former boss, I call him my work dad because that's how cool he was. So yeah,
Okay, okay.
and yeah,
That's
yeah,
always scary,
it
especially
is.
when you haven't had to. In this particular situation, like, oh, I got to find another job, right? And
Hmm.
then, I know this was some years ago. It's definitely not like that now. So,
Yeah. Yes, unfortunately. And babe, just sticking on this topic of self-love and, you know, um, pivoting when we have failures and things of that nature. So my question to you is like, how can we all learn from these setbacks and failures that we experience throughout life? Because they're going to happen. We can't avoid them.
that is very true. And sometimes it sounds so simple, but I often wonder if people really embrace that thought that at some point it's going to happen, which is why I mentioned
Hmm.
people that I've been very shocked. This is more probably when in my younger years of seeing that people haven't like gone through anything. And then I'm over here like, bro, I've been through da 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 da. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
So I don't know if this is just my personality, my training of English, but take notes. That's it's one of my things. Take note of what's happening, the way it's happening. And then of course in your moments of reflection, meditation, prayer, whatever it is that you do, find a way to just gather the information that is likely going to help you. And I think oftentimes we know what's not, so go with what you know is going to help you.
Right.
Another thing is failure is the ultimate teacher. And shout out to the
Mm.
keynote speaker of the Conscious Leadership Summit a few weeks ago, Brian Schoolman. I hope I said that right. Forgive me, Brian. But he mentioned this in his talk, and it resonated so much with me because I'm like, yeah, that's a perfect way to look at it. Failure should not be looked at as a bad thing or another thing to add to. This ain't work. Da 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 da.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard too. Failure gives you the answers you need to make it right. And then lastly, setbacks are there's positivity in setbacks. Like there's some
Oh,
real
yeah.
great positives that you can find, but you got to be willing to see it.
Hmm.
Like yes, it's like I didn't get what I desired here. What can I learn from it? What good came out of this? And
Yeah.
then you just focus on that, right? And then when it
Yeah.
happens again, you can, you know, dare I say, roll with it, right? So those are some things for me that I definitely probably my go-tos, with trying to navigate, that lane. So we're gonna move on to our next heart conversation topic, which is positive vibes only, right? So positivity is a big thing. However, Kels, how do you maintain a positive? I see you dancing over. Y'all can't see her dancing right now, but how do you keep that joy, that positivity outlook during difficult times, like you mentioned, looking for a job or other things?
Hmm. As you know, babe, I am a super positive person. So I feel like for me, that is ingrained in me. That is in my DNA. That is how God wired me to be.
Okay,
Because
I'm on the side of other people like, well, I don't know if God made me like that.
because I am always positive for the most part. Um, but I would say, besides myself, with keeping your positivity up, you have to find joy in the small things, in the small
Mm,
wins.
yes, yes.
As we've mentioned, like life is going to happen, things are going to come, but you have to find joy in the small things. Joy, as in, like, being able to go to your favorite store or go to the movies or,
Cut the
eat
line.
your favorite. hmm Eat your favorite meal or watch your favorite movie. Or, if you're someone who has the green thumb and you're a plant mom and, you just change the potted soil and all that jazz. Like,
Babe, hold up. I almost said the green thumb. Like, what is that? I was really about to, I was like, stop the show, stop everything. I have no idea what that means. You used that term with me, I think, maybe a few times. So when you started saying, I was like, oh,
yeah.
yeah, okay.
Or, if you like to knit, or, if you have a dog or a cat, I want one, but
Y'all peep, did y'all peep that? I know my fellows peeped it. Go ahead, keep coughing. You excused.
so yeah. Um, so that's how you keep the positivity up on the challenging times in life. Because if you don't, we all know that leads you down a negative slope, and we all know
Yeah.
what that can lead to. So
Yeah,
yeah,
sometimes hard to come back to.
yes,
Or makes
yes,
it harder, I should say. I feel like
I agree.
we got a chance to always get back, but it definitely will make it harder.
Yeah, yeah, and hmm. Oh, babe, my next question is definitely about, we all have moments of feeling overwhelmed and discouraged.
Say that
So
again.
yes. So what advice would you give to our listeners to, overcome that?
Shout out to you if you are feeling overwhelmed right now, because it is a
Yes.
real thing. Don't let anybody tell you differently. But often when I am in that space, I think I kind of thrive in being overwhelmed to a degree, right?
hmm
To a certain point. Because I think I just love the work aspect of like, okay, I got to get this done. Like, oh man, I think it shows a level of importance, right? And you
Right.
want to get it right or get it done, do it well, whatever the case is. But sometimes I just have to reset.
Yeah.
And I think there might be ways, um, various ways to do that. The way I might do that may be different the way you would do it. And so, whatever that means to you, our listeners, reset yourself, get away, take an extended time for yourself. Even if it's not the holiday, I know, especially, our black and brown folks, we used to working.
Yeah.
And I know I grew up watching my mom never take off. And I knew I had the same drive that she has, but I was like, yo, I got to learn how to take off, take time for myself.
hmm
Then I would say too, Kels, feel your feelings,
Oh, yeah.
understand them, right? Don't stay there though, especially if they're negative things. If
hmm
like you said, the bad thoughts are coming. Still feel them. I think there's a level of when you feel them, you get understanding, you get clarity, and then you like, boom, this is what we got to do, right?
Yeah.
Don't sweep it under the rug. Don't act like they don't exist. Don't let nobody tell you that
No.
they don't exist, right?
hmm
But acknowledge them and then move from there. And then as y'all hear me say, every episode, pray, reflect, and repeat.
Yes.
And then like you I think you mentioned this earlier, alluded to it, take one thing at a time. Just do one thing and then, you know what I mean?
hmm
Take it from there. And so I hope, because I know I'm actually in my mind, I'm thinking one of my friends who can get overwhelmed pretty easily. And so there's that conversation quite often of just like, just chill, just,
Yeah.
regroup, reset, step away, whatever. And then let's tackle it one
Come
thing at a
back.
time. Just
Yeah.
because I know if you like me, sometimes you think you could do everything. And maybe Kelly, you smiling. Maybe there's a time or two you can do that, right?
Yes.
But not every time.
Yes. Yes.
So I'm thinking about we always want to inspire people. So this topic really does mean a lot to me, and the song of No Not Today. So how can we inspire folks to push? I don't want to use push through because we always, especially Black folk, we use that one to death, and I don't think it has a good
Yes,
context. But
it does not. It does not.
but I say push through, persevere, go through it, and never give up on whatever, this thing that we're dealing with.
Yeah.
How do you find ways to inspire others?
I know I always take a pause, but I'm not being dramatic, I promise. I'm just trying to get my thoughts together. um, I would definitely say be supportive to the other person. Listen, make sure you're actively listening, and definitely give advice, especially if you have something that's similar to what they're
Right.
going through, because it makes it more relatable, and it definitely encourages them to be like, hey, if such and such did it, I can do it too.
That's right.
I will say, I'm sorry, I'm having a slight brain fog moment.
Sorry
Shoot,
about that.
that's okay. My brain fog has definitely kicked in right now. I hate it when
That's
that
all right.
happens. I will definitely say what I'm thinking of in my head. I have multiple sclerosis, and there are a few women that I have connected with that we do share like how we're feeling and our frustrations with MS. And those things have definitely helped with pushing each other to hang in there, to quote unquote fight the good fight, because
Right.
with having a chronic illness, especially a invisible illness, there's definitely times where you're challenged emotionally, physically, mentally, like it all hits you all at once.
All of them. Yep.
And
Yep.
and it's a lot, because I have my days too where I'm at my wit's end, because with having MS is very challenging. And in April 2025 will be 8 years I've been dealing with this. So I've
Wow.
definitely had my ups and downs. And the only thing you can do, lastly, I will say, is be vulnerable with people so that they, like I said, will know they can overcome it. And once again, everyone, I apologize for the brain fog. It is kicking in something serious right now.
Nah, baby, it's all good. It's all good. Look, I definitely know a lot about the fog now. It can be something, but nah, you good. Those are
Yeah.
absolutely good things on ways to inspire folks. So, you guys, if you're listening, safely listening, I don't want you to give comments while you're driving, but
Yeah.
let us know how you're inspiring people to keep pushing through. Persevering is the better word. Excuse me, persevering, because push through can be a little detrimental. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, you good, babe. You good.
Thank you. Thank you. And with that, let's see. Staying on board with being positive
Mm-hmm.
and encouraging others. And my question to you, babe, is what are some positive practices to reframe? To reframe your mind.
Ooh, yeah, mindset is everything. And Kelly, I think you've been sharing a bit of this on these episodes, and I know more personally, but
Mm-hmm.
the things that you grew up with may not be the same things that you need now as an adult or growing
Right.
adult, however old you are, and so mindset is everything. I think for me, I'm a creative. I have to express myself. So just me and my lovely guitar. It's funny when you become professional that those moments of just sitting with how you started, for me, it was just guitar and words, right? Because I couldn't sing.
Mm-hmm.
That was like everything to me. Like God pours into me, just, playing. If I don't necessarily have to write, but just playing, rehearsing things. And I've learned over the years, I've been playing for 23 years. So the last 5 or so, I just feel like hasn't been the same.
Yeah.
Especially because I've had surgery, so I haven't been able to play. But that's my time, man. Like, just
Yeah.
it centers me. I hear God. I get a lot of rhema, as they say, in those moments. But other times, I might actually create. You see in the studio, I might actually create, but not with a purpose. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, this is, I'm not thinking this is for TV. This is for Damien who needs a record. This is for, I just create and let it do what it do.
Yeah.
Meditating, I've been doing more of that lately. I've been kind of on a, like, I gotta do more of it. So I've been doing that a lot lately, probably the last year or so. Praying, obviously, I think is a big one. And sometimes it ain't gotta be, I think people think sometimes praying gotta be deep. It can be as deep as you want, but, pray. And then I
Mm-hmm.
think lastly, a big one for me is audio. So anything from, music, but typically it's something specific like Miss Lauryn Hill's Unplugged, MTV Unplugged album.
Mm-hmm.
It saved my life, changed my life. So I usually go to that first. Audiobooks, and then, podcasts like this one. something that has, something that has some substance. So I'll throw the
Yes.
same question back at you. What are some things that you do?
Yeah, very, very similar to you. I definitely listen to music. Um,
Really,
but to
Mo?
help me,
Really?
hush.
Y'all, I don't be seeing her listen to music like that. So I'm surprised she said that. I'm surprised. Okay,
I
okay.
do. I do. But for me, it's more so like contemporary Christian music. Like that's what I listen to help, with that. Um, let's see, I like nature sounds. So there's like, anything on YouTube that's nature that has like a fireplace or like some rain or something. I like that. And I try to motivate. I mean, I said motivate. I meant to say meditate. It works sometimes, but my thoughts are always racing all the time, so it really doesn't help that much. And
Babe,
I would
do you do classical music?
sometimes.
Okay.
And the last thing I do, which Babe is really aware of, is that I love to laugh. So anything, that makes me laugh so I can, forget about what I'm stressing about or worrying about is right up my alley. So yeah.
Yeah. Those are good. I just had to get you on the music, y'all. little jokey joke.
Yes.
All right, y'all. So we're going a bit deeper into our next and last part conversation. And this one is dear to us both, but something Kelly has definitely been growing in. I'm so proud to see it. But setting your boundaries. I think this is a tough one for a lot of folk. And in self-love, I think it's necessary.
Mm-hmm.
So, Kels, enlighten us. How do we set healthy and necessary boundaries and say no without feeling guilty or selfish about it?
I'm going to say something funny, but then I want to say something serious. I'm going to say, just cut your phone off. Just cut it off. Just cut your phone off. With most phones nowadays, you have, you can set up who you want to receive, like calls and texts and things from. So,
Team
put your,
Android, we got modes,
yeah,
and we can
yeah,
switch it to a mode and didn't do our favorites, you know. I know
Hey,
Team Apple was a little,
iPhones have that
yeah,
too,
well,
okay?
you know.
iPhones
Look, I
have
was
that
just taking a
too.
moment. I was just taking a moment to shout out my Team Androids. That's all. That's all.
So yes. So you can do that. And I will also say learn how to say no. And that is something that I have been working on because I will say growing up, I always felt like I had to say yes. I had to go along with whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm a little older, it's like, no, I don't want to do that. No, I want to rest. Like, leave me alone. So I'm finding solace in my no. So definitely
So
voice.
I'm sorry, babe. I was gonna say. So you
Mhm.
felt that guilt?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Did you ever
yeah.
feel Do you ever feel selfish though
I
when you
did.
started
Yes,
doing?
I did. I did. And I felt selfish because at the time, I prided myself on being reliable, dependable, and accessible,
Yeah. Yeah.
regardless of what was going on, regardless
Mm-hmm.
of what I had going on, regardless of where my mental state was, how I was feeling. Like, I had to be there. I had to say yes. But now it's like, no, let's do a ring check. Or just no, just flat out no. I don't want to. There is no ring check. I just don't want to do it.
Babe, they ain't no rain check.
No.
So look, do you ever feel like that was weaponized against you?
My yes or my no?
Well, you know, or I'm sorry, the fact that you were accessible and made yourself available in those things. So when you
Yeah,
started saying
yeah.
no, was it like, yeah,
Yeah,
do
yeah,
explain?
because with me not saying no, with me not speaking up for myself, me agreeing all the time was weaponized. I was sadly, but I was taken advantage of. And I necessarily can't blame other people because I didn't speak up for myself. Like, I knew how I felt on the inside. I knew what I was thinking. However, I did not feel comfortable saying no. I can't. I don't want to. Maybe later. Can we do it next week? Like,
I love you going down these. It's pretty funny.
yeah. And,
Okay.
you know, I will say this, like, I know that's definitely one thing I love about you because you are quick to say no without giving like an explanation as to why. You're just like, no, thank you. I'm
Come
good.
on.
I'm good. So that's one thing I definitely love about you. Um, so babe, speaking of boundaries, and this is definitely something like you said that we talk about all the time. So why or what do you think is the reason why people struggle with setting boundaries?
Well, actually, to your point, and you said it when we started the segment, that no is a sentence. I think it's probably
Hmm.
one of the few that is, right?
Yeah.
And I know I felt the same things that you mentioned, about being taken advantage of. And to me, in the beginning of adulthood, it was like, oh, that's cool. Like, I get it, but I want to do this. But then I think it's in that same reason. I want to be there for people.
Hmm.
In so many situations, I have felt that no one was there for me, or was
Yeah.
only there in a way for themselves, not the way I
Hmm.
needed them to. And there is a difference, right?
Right. Right.
So I feel like, a lot of people may, like, they don't need them, especially like, friends and family, like the job, like you don't need boundaries. They
Hmm.
what do I need boundaries for? Like, I'm out here getting it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, bruh, soon you're gonna be out here getting it in that hospital bed. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing that I want people to understand, right?
Yeah, it's serious.
Then they weren't taught how to set boundaries. I think that's a big thing, which is why I mentioned earlier what you grew up with, that mindset and things. And these are things that were directly taught and things you just learned from watching,
Learned.
right?
Yep.
Which is a lot of, if I'm not mistaken, the percentages is a lot more of verbal or nonverbal communication, right? And so people just they've heard the word, they've heard the terms. I know it's probably a buzzword the last 10 years or so now. People are really talking about it. And then, they're always just think they should just stay the same. They don't have to do it,
Yeah.
And I think lastly, people don't understand their needs. And to me, that's a big part of self-love. You have to know
Yeah.
you. You have to know you in order to tell people what you need and what you don't need. And to be able to stick up for yourself, speak for yourself. And like you said, no, I don't feel like it. Right? Like, I don't need a rain check. Yeah, that joke was funny. I don't need a rain check. So y'all let us know, like, what, like, I really definitely want to hear on that one, why do you think people struggle, or why do you struggle with setting boundaries? Please comment wherever you're listening.
Yes,
Spotify is on the mobile app only, and then you can also comment on the website. So it's more story time, Kels.
Okay.
I want to know, I want you to share another story about a time when you struggled to set these boundaries. And I feel like, because, you my wife, I can probably say it for you. So tell me a time when you've struggled to set these boundaries.
Oh boy. A time I struggled there's been quite a few times, to be honest. I'm just trying to think of which one I want to mention. Let's just stick on the topic of family and friends, right?
Okay.
So there was a time where I was asked to do something. I didn't want to do it. I felt as though I had no option but to help this individual. And because I did not vocalize how I felt, because I did not set boundaries, and of course, during this time, I had no idea as to what boundaries were. I think I've heard the term here or there, but never really knew exactly what it was.
Right.
And I ended up helping this individual. I would say prior to me helping them, I had a mental breakdown. I was depressed. I pretty much cried myself to sleep for like a month or so. And,
Wow.
Fast forward through some time, and this person became very dependent on me. And as I started to understand what boundaries were and began to establish boundaries, it was very challenging because I was always used to being there for them. So setting boundaries was, of course, uncomfortable for them, but it was also uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
So
That sorry to interject, but that's where you felt guilty,
Yes.
like you were being
Yes.
selfish.
Yes.
Yeah.
And to be honest, I knew I needed to set boundaries because with having MS, I know that stress triggers my symptoms. I know that if I don't get my proper rest and things of that nature, that also triggers my symptoms. So setting boundaries were necessary for my overall health. Like I had no option but to.
Yeah, help to help to do that.
Yes.
It'll
Yes.
Kelly, I say this a lot when I got hurt in school, that I realized, being sick, or, when you actually have conditions, I guess this is me being positive, but it really allows you to view things completely
It does.
differently than if, nothing ever happened, right? If you allow it to. And
Hmm.
I think, hearing you talk about particularly that part, it's dope that I've heard people say through, like, me even sharing about my fibro and my GI stuff and just how I have to navigate that. They like, yo, that, like, I respect that. Like, I gotta start doing this for myself. And the first thing I say is, yeah, bro, you don't want to do it because you gotta do it, right?
Hmm.
It doesn't feel as good when I feel like God puts you in that position, to make you stronger and all these things, but to ultimately get you to set boundaries and, amongst other strong characteristics that you may be lacking. And so
Yeah.
I think that is a beautiful point made. And I'm so glad to see that you have gotten to a place to set your boundaries.
Yes.
So as we come to a close, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this episode of self-love, because that's where it starts. That is
Yes.
absolutely where it starts. And so we thank you all for listening. I want to let you know that self-love starts with yourself. And knowing yourself is everything and necessary for your growth, for healing, and ultimate success. Whatever success is to you, know, Kelly said it earlier, no. It's a complete sentence, and it's okay, especially as we come to the holiday. You don't got to go to everybody's house. Kelly, they ain't got to go to everybody's house. Just go to one
They
house.
do not.
And if you don't want to go to anybody's
Well,
house,
stay home.
stay at your house.
Right.
Right? But I hope you take this with you, not only now, the holidays, but as we go into another year, 2025, right? So as always, y'all, remember to pray, reflect, and repeat.
Enjoy the No Condom podcast at JastinArtis.com. That is JastinArtis. Do you miss meals? I don't think so. So don't miss an episode.
Be sure to listen to all the episodes at JastinArtis.com and on streaming platforms like Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube, iHeart, Audible, and wherever you like to listen.
You can also reach us by email at ncpodcast@JastinArtis.com. Connect with us or share your thoughts on Instagram at No Condom Podcast.
And a big thank you to our wonderful team, Project Manager Shantae Sharp and Creative Director Christine Leah.
You can follow them both on Instagram at Shantae_Sharp. That's CHAUNTA_SHARP, and at Christine Leah at KRISTANYLEAH. Thank you so much for listening, and tune in next time.
Now take a moment to listen to the No Anthem from the self-reflective playlist, Love and Darkness 2. No Not Today, produced by John's son. Peace and love, y'all.
We started a new decade, 2020. So much life has happened, and will happen, right? So we gotta learn how to take the no back, take the power back. Come on, learn how to say no. Not today, you won't get me out. 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 James, I love you. How do you live when your child dies? You feel their breath as they fold into goodbye. What about when your body cells can't reply? Or when your job throws you overboard thinking he'll survive? Fabricated in the poor man's environment, my mental capacity is something of a conglomerate. Vision past the horizon in front of me. I ditched the script, pushing passion like a drug in me. It's showtime like I'm LeBron champion the Lakers. I look you in your eyes and I see you faker. I knew I'd never get it like my twin or kin. I rebuilt my life from loss, yet they don't expect me to win. My success can't be compared to yours. I know I ain't God, but my gifts elevate me off the floor. I carry my pain and support you through yours. But in these moments, I'm taken for granted. Only one way out this darkness is to love me and let no be the distance standing. I'm offset with no egos. Upset the game with free throws. Last section, hero. Faithful with no ego. Okay, see my future through the people. Fusing genres like I'm Creole. Money only talks to zeros. One love will heal your mental. Try life without the handles. At Godspeed, time ain't feel slow. No minutes on the clock is real growth. Belief is more than wearing church clothes. So you tell them this. No, not today, no pain. No, not today, no doubt. No, not today, no stress. No, not today, woo. Not today, you won't get me out. Not today, you won't get me out. All this power in me jumping off the meter. Speaking healing in one name, Jesus. Not today, you won't get me out. Not today, you won't get me out. Got me focused in my soul, I'm free. Pain and my purpose is all for a reason. Pain pop up like a cop. Stress stop, you at the drop. Grief smelling like dirty socks. Wanna drop the dream like a FedEx box. I'm saying, no, not today, no pain. No, not today, no doubt. No, not today, no grief. No, not today, woo. Not today, you won't get me out. Not today, you won't get me out. All this power in me jumping off the meter. Speaking healing in one name, Jesus. Not today, you won't get me out. Not today, you won't get me out. Got me focused in my soul, I'm free. Pain and my purpose is all for a reason. You got me tiptoeing, ballerina point toes. Fake folks sitting close, don't kill my vibe. Dead rose thorn in my towel. Sweat dripping on my nose, the devil he's boiling, but I'm nowhere near a stove.